Welcome everyone. So I decided tonight I'm going to do just a live, kind of like a chat, take some questions, do some TA, and I'll just put the video I was going to post up tonight for tomorrow. I don't do it every week, but occasionally I'll do like these feelers to kind of just keep my ear to the ground and see like what are the concerns and thoughts of my subscribers and people that are just checking the channel out. So just kind of make sure that I have like a sense of awareness to what's going on. So before I get started, I'm going to do my normal audio check. So let me know if you can hear me. Put it in the chat. Then, hello everyone. I'll see the messages coming in. Hello. And so this is actually live, so it's not a premiere of a video. So if I'm not going to be in the chat as active as I am on the premiere of the video, so I'll be responding via audio versus messages. So this is actually live. So just in case. Okay, cool. So the biggest thing that we have, actually, I'm gonna say the biggest, a really huge catalyst is what we have this week is going to be the Fed meeting on Wednesday. So we know we've had the long anticipated interest rate hike of pretty much the year, Q1. It's coming up this Wednesday. So this week is going to be very interesting. Possibly going to be some wild swings. I'm expecting some red this week, but we've kind of been confirmed so far that they're going to do the 0.25%, despite our fourth month of record inflation. So this is confirming the thoughts that we had that they didn't want all those negative catalysts pulling on the market with the Russia-Ukraine situation and record gas prices. And they did not want to pretty much rug pull the market. So they're being a little less aggressive than normal. And that has been confirmed. But we will confirm it for sure on Wednesday. If they stick to their guns and come out with a 0.25%, we know that they are sticking to their guns. And this is going to be interesting. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be really interesting, not just for inflation outside of the markets, but just for stock price, crypto price as well. It's going to be really interesting because with these gas prices, we know that the CPI numbers for March, when they come out in April, they're going to be terrible. We know, like, it's going to be. I'm a firm believer that the way that the Fed calculates inflation is, I won't say wrong, but I'll say it's off anyway. But I would love to see these numbers, and if they're even going to come in below 10% for March next month. So really interesting times ahead of us. But I consider them all great buying opportunities if you're long in the market, which I hope most people are. Let's see here. You think we're about to get a massive Russian sell-off of Ethereum? Probably not, especially if their currency, like the ruble, is getting hammered, like what's being reported. They'll want something outside of their currency to hold on to, because think about it. If they're experiencing 40% inflation in their currency, sell it and do what? So if they do hold large amounts of Ethereum, the speculative 20% of Bitcoin, if I were them, I'd hold on to that, or if I could, I'd increase my current positions. But as far as for them selling it, unless they had a game plan to go into like another commodity or something like that, I don't see it being a logical reason for them to offload, especially now. I think the market is dead till October. Yeah, we're going to find out real soon. That's for sure. We're going to find out really soon. Let's see. They said it was like 7.9, but it's more like 12 or much higher. We're definitely double digit. Definitely double digit. We've been double digit for over a month now. Like, I don't believe that's 7.9. They have I think they use some type of tricky measurements similar to what they do when they count unemployment, the unemployment numbers and stuff like that, or job creation. Yeah, I don't believe that at all. 7.9. I don't know what kind of averages they're using, but it's certainly, we've been double digit for over a month now. Let's see. what you think Doge is going to do. Are we looking to go up anytime soon? Well, the market in general, this is one of the things I was doing with yesterday, even with Bitcoin, because you guys know I called the what I believe to be the bottoms of, well, I guess say the correction points of Bitcoin and Doge and stuff like that a few months ago. And because we had the little rally and stuff like that, everybody's like, oh, no, you're wrong. See, we're all-time highs and stuff like that. And now, of course, which is the chart that you're looking at on the screen, we have Bitcoin setting up an extremely, extremely bearish pattern, which is the double top. And I went over that yesterday. I don't know how many of you are my subscribers or watched the video yesterday, but if you guys want me to go back over the double top pattern, I can. But yeah, so that's the chart that you're looking at here with that circle to the far right. And that is an extremely bearish pattern that we're setting up here. So Bitcoin likes to be, it's the face of the crypto market. So in that regard, it's a little bit harder to chart because they'll use like any catalyst they can to try and propel it. So you can kind of get like a overreaction or underreaction depending on like the news, but more so you get overreaction. So, but you're not going to delay this liquidity issue and stuff like that that's going on in the market, especially with margin calls and stuff like that that's going on in banks. So you're not going to, you can delay it, excuse me, but you're not going to prevent a correction from happening. So you can best believe that this is going to happen. So I'm still sticking by my numbers. I don't care if Warren Buffett said otherwise. I stick to my numbers. So we will see. We will see. But as far as for Doge, that's going to be, Doge obviously would trace it for the most part. It traces the market makers. So it's really as far as for it going up, we have the catalyst and stuff for there for it to go up, but the market in general is looking like it's going to correct. So this is bigger than Doge, so, or any particular crypto for that matter, because we're looking at a rebalancing or a reset, whatever you want to call it. We're looking at something much bigger than any particular coin. So that's one of the things that I've been speaking on for like the last few months, was to make sure that people are anticipating that we can have greater entries if we're patient. So that's kind of what I'm shooting for right now, is those greater entries. The biggest catalyst I do have for us to gain momentum or remove some of those coins would be through AMC. That's my favorite catalyst. I think the other ones, for the most part, are, you know, great marketing, but I don't think it offers a solution to like long-term utility like AMC does. So that's my greatest catalyst for it going up. But as of right now, it's hard to say, because all of the issues that we have, that we're dealing with, that are the big negative strings in the market, are much bigger than any particular coin. You know, potential war with a superpower, record inflation we haven't seen in 50 years, a weak interest rate hike, and QE coming to an end in the market, all in the same month. Really hard to give a projection on that. But as of right now, I'm more so just looking at like pacing myself for specific entries, because I'm long on like most of the positions I speak on this channel. Doge One news. I am not sure. I need to catch up with Doge One. I need to put that in my notes, because I am not sure. I do not have an update for Doge One. I'll put that in my notes, because I do need to catch up about that. Let's see, I think we're about to do the squeeze, but we have come to one more overall, maybe 65K to 70K. What do you think? Oversell, maybe 60. You think for Bitcoin? Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that happen. As far as like I don't know if you're talking about Bitcoin going to 65K or 70K. I don't see that happening right now. I'd be beyond shocked for that to happen. As far as for where they're going to, I mean, the only way that would happen, in my opinion, is if they didn't go to bonds or normal commodities, and they literally decided to hedge with Bitcoin. And by they, I mean like institutions and whales and stuff like that. That would be, but with the way that Bitcoin can be sold off, I still believe they're going to be a little hesitant going forward. But that would be, you know, that would certainly upset the charts for sure. But I'm not going to say it's impossible, but I just think that it'll be, that's unlikely. especially with the pattern that I'm seeing here, because this double top here, normally that's indicating a breakdown. We'll get some confirmation here, like high 30s, mid 30s, to see if it's going to be respected. But if that does check out and we get that confirmation, that's normally a leg down. I feel like this whole year is going to be red. In 2023, we'll see the new all-time highs. Yeah, it depends on a lot of factors. I don't want to say the whole year, but it's certainly not impossible. There's a lot of unknowns out there, that's for sure. A lot of unknowns. I'm excited about these entries though, but there's certainly a lot of unknowns out there. That is definitely the case. Ethereum or Doge, which is better? There's a lot of variables in that. That's more so a matter of preference, and exactly why you're buying it. I can't say one's. I own both. I'm not say can't say that one's like better than the other. It really just depends on like why you're buying it. But if you're looking for like stability or just something that's going to trace Bitcoin or something more closely, if you're just simply looking at like profit and stuff like that, then when it comes down to tracement and institutional injections of money, yeah, that would be Ethereum. But if you're looking at as far as for like return percentage and stuff like that, or like a use case, then you probably want to go with Doge, because Ethereum I believe is going to be top 10 for a long time to come. It may not always be number 2, but I do believe Ethereum is going to have, it's going to be top 10 for a while now. So I am long on Ethereum, but it really just depends on like what your strategy is and stuff like that. But I would say those two, I would say, do both, but I can't tell you what to do. Let's see. David, do you know anything about Evergrow coin? I recently discovered it and I have been researching it, but I'm very skeptical. I don't. I've had someone ask me about it before, and I've never had a chance to take a look at it. But yeah, I haven't heard anything about it. So I typically try to stay away from speaking on things I'm ignorant about. So I don't have an opinion on it either way. David, what are some good stocks to hold long term that are under $100? So I made a video. My stocks never sell. I like having, especially energy, if I can catch it relatively low, especially the ones that pay strong dividends. Exxon has rewarded me handsomely in the last 2 years, especially under $100. Most of my go-to stocks that are really, really long term, they're over $100, but they're less than 200. Typically, those are going to be, for me, they're going to be like Apple and Microsoft. Those are going to be my go-tos, but a little more than $100, which is what you asked, but less than 100. I probably say my favorite would be Exxon. That's not going to change just because of the history with the dividends and simply with it being a massive company. And it control. I won't say it controls our oil, but it's very influential when it comes down to our oil, and they're very cash heavy and stuff like that. So it makes it attractive to me as far as for entry price and also getting dividends as well. So I say this is my favorite stock under 100. I don't have many that are under 100, but if I had to pick, I would say just Exxon. Let's see, Ethereum and BTC sucks and gas and fees. Those will rule them out. Yeah, definitely. That's why I say it depends on why you're investing in the coin. But if you're talking about transaction wise or utility wise for like goods and stuff, yeah, definitely. Doge, that's Doge all day long. What do I think about Shiba Inu? Oh, excuse me, Shiba. Yeah. I'm not long on Shiba. Again, Shiba has the community to make something work, but I've been getting a lot of I guess flack over like the last few months because people were asking me to do TA on Shiba, and I say Shiba looks like it's threatening a full retracement. And now that's like coming into fruition. I mean, because at the same time, charts are not 100%. The best charts you're looking at 60, maybe 80%, depending on if there is any BS. So charts aren't 100%, but I'm not long on Shiba. That is something that had the potential to be a cash grab. I did make some money. Well, I did take an entry, but it's not something that I'm long. I have a bunch of coins that I could, not a bunch, but like 2 or 3, but I'm still holding that I believe will be great cash grabs if we have some normal time in the market this year. But Shiba is not something I would hold long term just yet. Let's see. How do you feel about XRP? Do you own any? I've been looked at extensively, and no, I don't own any. I had opportunity to a while ago, but I passed it up because I was at my 5 cryptos for the time. I didn't want to take any new positions, but yeah, I don't have any XRP right now. I feel about Litecoin. I like Litecoin. I actually own some. It's one of my. I did a video like mid last year, and Litecoin is in my like top 5. Like I like Litecoin. I don't know if necessarily it's going to, I don't think you can get like a 10,000% return or something crazy like that. But it was one of the coins that I initially got into, but I was able to get into it like right before the big run-ups and stuff like that we had in May. But I haven't added to that position recently. So I've been more so just focusing on obviously Doge, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano. So I'd say Cardano pretty much replaced Litecoin for me. I'm long on Dogecoin, but it's hard to understand why there's still no utility even after all this time has been around. Well, utility, it's something that even with the community, it's something that we are technically asking for and campaigning for, because it's not just something that just would pop up, even though it's been around for a while. And we pretty much just made it popular like last year. So that's why even a lot of the companies that are doing it, and they're not necessarily building out their complete, like building out a website or something like that to accept Dogecoin. Even if you look at like an AMC or the Mavericks or something like that, they simply go to BitPay. Now, this is pushing Doge in the right way, because we're going to open up those doors so that it can be accepted on a larger scale. But when it comes down to like utility, we're just really going to have to focus on like those numbers and the actual amount of volume that we're doing transaction wise, because we can't just say, oh, the Tesla merge thing is the only thing we're going to put up numbers on. Every time we get an opportunity to have Dogecoin be used in something that's not related to Elon, that's going to be our segue to get greater utility. And it's still new. The crypto market really, really just got popular last year. So we can't really count the entire time that Dogecoin has been around, because most people didn't even know Dogecoin existed prior to last year. So, and it certainly wasn't a really big campaign to push crypto to be accepted before last year as well. So we can't count that full time frame against Dogecoin as far as saying people are slow to accept it. We're literally focusing. It's been less than 12 months, really. It started now, but like the peak of the market and stuff like that was still less than a year ago. So we're just going to have to, give it some time here. But Doge has made incredible progress in the last 12 months, like incredible progress. So I think that where Doge is, being the first crypto in space, having the opportunity here to be accepted at some really big retailers and stuff like that, largest movie chain in the world, that's a hell of a first year on the mainstream. So I'm not disappointed in it at all. Let's see, got you on the big screen. Hitting the like button. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see, did you hear about the government wanting to print on an additional $1.5 trillion to help Ukraine? What the hell? I heard that they were sending more money over there. I didn't hear the trillion. Hopefully you meant billion instead of a trillion. But yeah, I'm really hoping that's a typo and you meant to put billion, because I did not hear about $1.5 trillion to help Ukraine. That'll be interesting for inflation, that's for sure. So do you think Kronos Crowcoin has long-term potential? I'll put that on the list as well. I've gotten asked about that a few times. Why I have not looked at it yet. I'll post that in the community section when I look at it, because I haven't seen Um, I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, and I don't want to say anything ignorant if I don't know enough what I'm looking at. Tomorrow is 3.14, 3.14. I'm not sure what point of the conversation you put that in, so I'm not sure. But if you want to clarify, just let me know. Well, you said the bill passed already. So wait, are you talking about the 1.5 trillion? Wow. Elon needs to accept purchase for a car to go to $1. So here's my thing when it comes down to the purchase for the car. So I think that Tesla accepting Dogecoin for a car is great, but I still consider that marketing. Most people cannot afford a Tesla. Like I think that because more so for me, I don't really want a repeat of last year just based off of hype because you're just going to attract a bunch, especially now, you're going to attract shorts into Dogecoin like crazy, and you're going to attract a bunch of traders, especially in this type of market here, and you having all these red days, and they have an opportunity to pump and dump and make some money. They're going to literally, oh my god, like it'll be crazy the type of foolishness that would in the swings and stuff that will be going on here. So when it comes down to Tesla and stuff like that, I look at it like, okay, well, let's not focus necessarily just on hype, but something like long term, because yeah, if most of that momentum that would happen would simply just be hype or the fact that it's in the news. Long term wise, I won't say it's not a viable form of utility, but most of Dogecoin holders cannot afford a Tesla. And I think that's just something we have to be honest about. So it's not going, as far as for utility wise, it's not going to be a major factor. So, but marketing wise, yeah, definitely will help add credibility and stuff like that. Elon was tweeting about Pi a couple weeks ago, 3.14. Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, okay, yeah. So maybe something interesting is going to happen tomorrow. Some special announcement. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, okay, I get it now. Thank you for clarifying. Let's see. How fast can Doge drop if it fell below 10 cents? Do you think people would buy the dip quickly, or would it just fall through since there's not a lot of support until 5 or 6 cents? That's gauging human, well, I guess human psychology in that matter would be a little difficult, but typically people will come in, especially those that are bullish, they'll start relatively soon when it comes into buying it, just because they know that it may not get down to that point. You will have most people will say, okay, we're just kind of going to wait for it to hit. So start seeing some signs of like life or support before they come in. So it's kind of hard to gauge that, but anytime when we have like the free falling market, but definitely if we break 10 cents and go into single digits, I do expect there to be so like an increase as far as for in volume, even if that's just people who are looking to bring their DCA down, because most of my coins are at 5 cents. So if you have an opportunity to capitalize again in single digits, and the market's going, whatever the reasons for it to go down, I do believe you're going to have a lot of people who even have their averages in the 20s or even the higher teens. They're going to view that as an opportunity to aggressively average down, so that even if Dogecoin before the next bull run, if they wanted to exit the coin or simply take some money out, they wouldn't have to do so at a loss, because when it consolidates again back at around 12 cents, they have the potential to exit neutral or in the green. So really hard to gauge that, but I do believe that we will see some brakes pump before 5 to 6 cents, but I don't think it would just free fall down to 5 or 6 cents unless there was something causing massive panic. I don't see it free falling that far. So I'm not saying it can't get there, but I also don't think it would be a free fall. You said we can afford one if it hits $1. Yes. Good point. Thanks. Good perspective. Thank you. My honest opinion, Doge will drop below 10 cents, but it's going to rebound super hard unless you have puts. You won't get in at that low price. Yeah, I think that yeah, people are definitely going to come in. Especially even if you holding Dogecoin, even if you hate the coin now, and let's say you wanted to exit the coin, but you don't want to do it with a profit, or excuse me, do it taking a loss. That is the best way to bring your DCA down. I have an entire video about the percentages about how aggressive to be to bring your DCA down. But if you have a chance to catch something below 10 cents and your average is, especially if your average is like 20 cents or higher, you're buying at over 50% off, you can bring your DCA down like lightning without spending an absolute fortune. So I imagine some people will do just that. Let's see. Absolutely. I would definitely buy more Doge under 11 cents and again under 10, just like David is saying, to push my price per coin down. There we go. 0.22 is 100% gain from here. Okay, good deal. Let's see. Cash heavy for any potential drops. Would you invest more into Ethereum or Dogecoin? Well, as far as with crypto, I would do, because I've been doing both, but right now, especially because I'm relatively happy with the amount of coins that I have with Doge. I'll buy some more for sure if it goes below 10, but I'm really trying to catch a hard correction on Bitcoin. Because I do believe where we are now, unless there's some crazy regulation or something like that, I do believe Bitcoin can go into 6 figures. So, and historically, even with all these bull cycles and stuff like that, they correct, they have that 80-90% sell off, and then they rally to their next all-time high. So I want to be in a position where I can, catch one of those. Okay, well, pretty much catch Bitcoin in the 20s. So that's my primary goal here, to catch this swing here. So that's one of the reasons why I'm being cash heavy. But as far as for those coins, Dogecoin, Ethereum, Cardano, I have an even amount that I put into those every week or so. So depending on price action, but I have an even amount that I put into those. So those are my, they're part of my top 4. Let's see. Is there a difference between averaging down and buying Doge on another account? I mean, technically speaking, you can say if you put it together, you can still come up with your own DCA, to be honest with you. But I guess you can say, it's averaging down because technically speaking, you do have a total average. It's just the brokerage isn't revealing it to you. So, just like I have some of my Doge that I bought in around like 18 cents and stuff like that, technically even at these prices, it doesn't matter where I buy it. Technically, I'm averaging up. So, you know what your current DCA is. So you just can kind of have that as a factor to say, okay, well, I bought some coins, at 11 cents and versus some coins at 15 cents. So, but as far as what account it is on, your DCA and you can find it out too. But it doesn't, in the big scheme of things, it doesn't necessarily matter because you can gauge your sell points based off of the different platforms. So if you want it to be that technical, but if you have 50,000 coins on one platform and 1,000 coins on another, that your DCA is closer to whatever the account that you have the most coins on. So. Lovely content, bro. What wallet do you run? Cold wallet, Nano. I'll take a few more questions here. Apple TA. I can do Apple TA. I honestly think that it's never a bad time to buy Apple. To be perfectly honest with you, I think that Apple is one of the staples in the market. It's really hard to go wrong with Apple. But yeah, even right now, yeah, you're coming down to the 200. We're roughly at around the 200-day moving average. Yeah, buying opportunity. Yeah, so yeah, take a look. So you see the 200-day moving average. Notice how we never. This is in the last the last year, we've never touched that 200-day moving average. So even the fact that, well, that's besides like a few weeks ago, but overall, because I purchased some last week, to be honest with you. So anything here and below, especially 200-day moving average, when you see that we typically trend above it, that for me, that's go time. So, but overall, just being completely honest with you, I don't think it's ever a wrong time to buy Apple right now. I think Apple will be probably like the world's first 8 trillion, $10 trillion company. Like I think Apple is going to be a major part of the future. So that's my 2 cents. I see. What do you think could push BTC to the 20K-ish range? Also, do you think if everyone thinks it will go there, then most likely the opposite will happen? We might not reach that range. That can play a part, but overall, I think it's going to be pretty much the market. There wasn't the market, but the market makers needed to rebalance because of liquidity issues and the pretty much the overall the economy. Because right now we see a lot of banks being margin called. We see Goldman Sachs bailing out other banks and stuff like that who have been banks, but yeah, banks, hedge funds, stuff like that who have been margin called. We see hedge funds doing swaps. It's a lot of hints that we are. Oh, Nasdaq crashed at 21%, which indicates a bear market. Yield curve flattening. It's a lot of hints here that we're about to have some money, like a vacuum of money come out because people typically, and I just mentioned this on my Zoom call, at certain points you have so many indicators, and at a certain point you'll go from bullish to, okay, let me protect what I got right now, and then I'll wait for this to bottom out, and then I'll come back in. Now, that happens, you're going to have massive corrections, because I do believe that most of the money in something like a Bitcoin is institutional money. And I believe that even if all the people in crypto that believe in both Bitcoin or hold Bitcoin, if they were bullish on Bitcoin, they were like, hey, it's time to go in or whatnot, I don't believe that they have the 1.5 trillion to hold Bitcoin up at these current prices. That's why I say we can have that consolidation point. I don't believe retail has the money. So that is the basis for my thoughts on that, in addition to the massive double top that we're forming right now. But again, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to play out or be confirmed, but that's just what it looks like right now. When will shorts get margin call? Excellent question. Excellent question. As of right now, it's looking like the government's not going to force their hand unless they absolutely have to. So it doesn't look like they're making laws every week to prevent this from happening again, but I don't think it's going to happen until they have to. So I'm still expecting, especially now since the Fed is, I guess we'll have to wait until this Wednesday, but especially now since they're delaying dealing with inflation the way they should, we can probably say this is going to roll over into Q2. I said, hey brother, this is the man I need to see. Just made my first purchase with Doge today. 2 tickets to Batman. Let's go. Okay. Thank you for answering all of our questions. Appreciate it. No problem. No problem. And I try to make these videos long. I probably do like a few throughout the week, because right now I'm like 33 minutes. So I try not to make this too long here. But I'll take one more question and then I'll jump off here. Have I heard about the regulation approved at work? No, I haven't. So I have 2 coins for the long term, Doge and Solana. Would I be better to sell out to buy Ether only and hold? You only have 2 coins. I'd say, because even with Solana, I'd say I wouldn't necessarily sell out. I would just simply add Ethereum if you can, so that you can have one that's going to be like in that top 3 that's going to follow Bitcoin extremely closely, and versus one that's going to trace it to a degree. So again, do whatever you want, your portfolio, but I personally would have if I don't have the number one, I would get in the number two and just kind of use that as a hedge against the volatility that you're going to see with Doge and Solana. So take this one. Dogecoin Moonlight. I got to find out. I put that in notes from earlier. I haven't stayed on top of that, so I'm going to put that in the notes. I'll respond to it in the community section on the channel. But yeah, so want to do this QA tonight. Just kind of chat with you guys for a bit. Hit the like button on the video, share it with a friend, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. And we're going to, I'll probably do another one of these on Wednesday, or probably for sure, because I know Wednesday is the Fed meeting and stuff like that. So I'll definitely talk to you guys then. But I'll do another one of these on Wednesday. And anyway, I appreciate you guys chatting with me tonight. And I will speak with all of you tomorrow. All right, have a good night.